Here we go.
Ta-da! You did it!
Okay.
Hey everybody, welcome to another day with the Knorps. We are still working on this project right here. We've got the general frame built for our little fake fireplace. But now what we got to do is build the box that's going to go inside to make it appear more like a fireplace. It's a box that we'll put in there that we'll put tile inside of or on the walls. And yeah, so I've been taking some measurements. We've been thinking about which type of tiles to use inside. That's still evolving because Megan has this Italian tile, which we're going to use for part of it, but we're trying to figure out how to supplement because it's not enough to cover the whole thing. So I've taken my measurements. I'm going to head over to the warehouse and start working on the box that's going to go inside. So I'm over here at the warehouse. We call it the warehouse because if you're new here, this is where we store a lot of our junk. We can't move into the house yet. We've been renting this building for the past couple years. As we've been sort of in between places. Hopefully someday we don't need to rent anymore. We can have a garage and have everything stored. But for now, it's also where we store everything. And also where I do my work, if there's any carpentry type stuff that has to happen. This is the corner that I've kind of dedicated to this sort of work. My miter saw is over at the house. So usually I have my miter saw set up here with the station. But anyways, there's a lot of scrap wood over here. My workbench, which I have this sheet of plywood, and hopefully between this sheet of plywood and a couple spare pieces over here, we can build this box. I've got my little plan sort of drawn out, very rough, a lot of changes, lots of scribbles, as I've scribbled out measurements that I realized I had wrong. But we'll see about making this work. Building a box is somewhat simple, but not totally simple because you got to get everything lined up right because it's got to go in that hole for the fireplace just right and everything line up. So
So back over here, we're leaning now towards using our kitchen and bathroom tile as the hearth tile on the bottom because it seems like most hearths have a dark tile on the bottom when they're real because they would get dark from the fire anyways. And it goes really well with this tile, which if you saw our last videos is, if you didn't see it, it's like a really beautiful Italian tile, hand painted. So they look good together. So I think that's what we're gonna do. But anyways, now we need to pull this off and slide this in. See how it looks. I don't know.
yeah.
Let's pull the hearth back over it. Okay.
It'll set a little bit out from the wall.
That's so cute, even with it just being wood. It looks. So if you sit on the floor, can you see the top of it?
I mean, yeah, you can see this, but if you just paint it black,
It disappears, right?
yeah, it'll be fine. No one's even gonna think about it.
You just assume, like your eye just immediately makes that go up. If you really wanted to make it look real, you could put a big hole in it
I know.
and just leave that alone.
You could like drill a huge hole or whatever, but
That's not necessary, huh?
why?
Yeah, you're right. Oh, who's gonna be like, wait a second.
Hey, where'd this go?
There's no hole here. What are you working on now?
Well, we're gonna go ahead and hang the TV so the kids can, use it while we're gone on our date.
It's a week later from when we got this thing, so Mike has done a lot this week.
I've done so much this week. I've been very productive.
Okay, the TV's up so the kids can play Minecraft, or no, what is this? What are you playing here?
Hogwarts Legacy.
Oh, Hogwarts Legacy. But I think, I just want to show you guys that it's funny how quickly your mind just like knows that that continues up through there. Even though it doesn't, you just, immediately your mind makes it so that it does. You think, oh, there it goes right up there. So.
But it doesn't.
It is a few days later, and, or maybe it's the next day, I can't tell.
It's actually the next day.
Oh, well, we just went to the tile store, and they really didn't have anything to go with our Italian hand-painted tiles. That's okay. We're gonna go over to the restore that we bought them at, and we're gonna look at what they have there. Because maybe there's something there. Maybe there's something to that idea. And I mean, we know that, we don't know. We got these there, we know that. So I have my little sample. This one's broken. So we are going to figure this out. I guess, I mean, I have seen some online that would maybe work. The hard part is, it's not exactly 4 inches. It's like 3 point,
It's just under 4 inches.
yeah, 8.5 inches or something. And so that most places actually have 4-inch tiles.
Did they do that on purpose?
Yeah, probably. And these are also $170 or $80 a square foot. So it's not like I can just order some more. Anyways, let's go see what the restore has. We're just having fun here, right? We're just looking around.
Okay, so what did we find, Megan?
Okay, so these are cool, these Zelish tiles, but there's not enough. There's only like 40 of them.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of them are broken because that's kind of what happens. That's kind of the look, which really isn't the look of the back tiles.
Yep.
But then another Italian company where we found these has these tiles of the exact same size.
Let's see.
Right, or just about. They're not the same, but if we did the whole back in this, these are always going to be on the side. So they're never going to be, and they have a different sheen, but they're never going to be in the same light, and they're not going to be really right next to each other. So my hope is...
Well, it's hard to find tiles that match this size, turns out.
Yeah.
And they'll just sort of disappear because
That's
it's
our
just
hope,
white.
they disappear.
So the focal point is sort of the back with the kind of cool design on it.
So we can have enough for the 2 sides, plus extra for, you know, whatever. What is that called, for cutting or whatever?
Waste.
Waste. For $35, which doesn't really get much. And it's just...
It's pretty dang cheap. So, we're still working on this fireplace, or, you know, faux fireplace. What we've got to do now, we're still working out the tile situation. We were at the store last week. We think we found some stuff that works, but we'll see. But either way, before we can tile it, I've got to do a little bit of the background work on it, or behind the scenes. We need to get an outlet installed, I think, on this side, so that, because I don't know if we talked about it, but Megan would like to put a space heater in there that kind of looks like a wood-burning stove in the wintertime. And then, you know, if I want to put lights in there, kind of make it pretty. You don't want to have to run the cord out and over to an outlet that's outside the thing. It'll make it look weird, and also you got to drill a bunch of holes. So I'm going to go underneath the house, see if I have some coiled up wire under there from some other projects. We'll see if I have enough to run a new outlet to this location. This is the wire that ran underneath the house. So now I'm underneath the kitchen to go up to the island once we're done with that. I was hoping I would have enough extra here just to use wire I already owned, but that's not enough to reach across because that's easily 20 or 25 feet. So I guess I'm probably gonna have to go buy some more wire, which is a little bit of a bummer because wire's not cheap. But I got to keep this here because I got to be able to go up through there and to the outlet and then over to another outlet on the other side of the island someday when that's all ready to go. It wouldn't do me any good to cut this off because it's already too short, so bummer. Okay, it's the next day, and I went and got my 25 feet of 12-3 cable. Hopefully that's enough to get me over where I need to be. I've measured, should be good. But here's what I had to do. Pulled out the box, realized that the box sits right up against that wall, which means I can't really mount a box to this unless I have a big enough hole in that wall for the box to kind of go back into. So I marked a spot here. Also, I need room to drill a hole in that bottom plate and get down into the crawl space to come up with the wire. So I'm gonna make a hole here. The hopefully is big enough to do all that. It doesn't feel great to put a big hole in new sheetrock, but this will all be covered up and just as part of the process here. So we'll go ahead and get this cut.
While Dad's making us a fireplace,
Yep.
I'm cooking some dinner. We're making homemade pasta, meatballs.
Oh, don't I separate?
Wow.
Yeah, you probably want to.
This is pretty ambitious over here.
They're long.
Very long noodles.
Holy yikes!
You all right?
Yes.
Was it hot?
Pan was hot.
Because it was probably right next to the saucepan over there.
Woo! You guys want to see the cookbook I found at the thrift store today?
What are we looking at?
The cookbook I found at the thrift store today that you weren't that excited about. But... Mastering the Art of French Cooking by Julia Child.
Wow.
Look at how beautiful it is. This is from 1960. This edition is from like 1964 or something. It's in incredible condition, and somebody they even kept the dust jacket.
Whoa.
Beautiful. Next day, time to tile.
So the first piece has to go in as this underlayment, and I've been working on this for the past like half hour. This piece. We're gonna see if it fits.
Good job.
That's
babe.
about right. It has a little bit of. Well, the problem is that this isn't completely straight. Goes out a little bit. That's probably okay though. And it'll go. Well, let's see. That's about as far. Because you've got this little bit here it's a little bit bigger on this corner.
Well, and this obviously isn't straight here.
Yeah, so I think it's okay. The tile can sort of hang over that a little bit. Have we showed that this is the plan with these big tiles?
Yeah, these are the tiles we used in our kitchen and bathroom, and they're perfect color. They go really well with our floral tile. And so we're going to use those on the bottom. They just look right. They look like a stone hearth.
We'll just do 3. 1 full in the middle and 2 that are trimmed.
I also like that you have the Batman signal on your back.
Do I?
Yeah.
Sweat Batman signal.
Yeah. Okay, we have this, original beading.
So you think we should do it like this?
Yeah. Do that first just to like split it.
Uh-huh.
And then you can pry those 2 off. Because they're all connected. There you go. Oh, look at that.
Hello.
Hot diggity dog.
Okay.
Then I need to, this obviously at some point came loose, and when they reattached it, they didn't keep it straight. We'll need to kind of pry that off, redo it, and then add these 2. Okay, I was just messing around thinking, I'll just pull this up, and popped off this whole section. So that needs to be reattached, but it's these 2 that are the real problem. These are like, I don't know how this person attached them, but those are the real problem. These will need to go back on, and then, yeah. All right, today while Mike works on putting in the floor tile, that's all I can do today because we have to wait till the grout dries and then we can do the wall tile. But I have been, we've been doing like the home building process for 7, 8, 9 months now. I mean, there was also just the tear down part of that, but I'm realizing as this time goes on, I like the home building process. I'm so grateful, but I have like a new definition. Home building is making of the actual structure, but homemaking is where you take that structure or that building and you make it a home. And I'm realizing of the two that I definitely prefer homemaking. I think a lot of you guys are the same way because you've been commenting on how excited you are for the phase when we're actually like making it pretty. And I'm like dying for that phase. Like anytime I've found something at the thrift store in the last couple of months, I'm finally letting myself buy little things again. And if I find like a little plate and I just like lean it against something, I'm like, oh, I love it. It's so pretty. And I have just missed that. And I've been looking forward to it for so long. And I feel like with the tile going in, I'm realizing it's so close. Like we're getting closer. And then in the kitchen, I'm starting to see it come together. And so I have been for a while now, like shopping for sofas. This channel, like every once in a while we're mentioning sofas. It's kind of a thing here. I don't know why, but probably in part because I'm very picky with my sofas and I want them to be high quality. And so I often am looking for high quality secondhand sofas. But the hard part with buying things secondhand, I try to do it when I can, but you can't decide what people are going to sell, like which of their things they're going to donate or put on Facebook Marketplace. You just kind of are playing a waiting game. And then the other hard part is it's really fun to start with an eclectic piece, but it's harder to finish a room with an eclectic piece, at least for me, since all of my things are so eclectic. And so I knew I needed something very specific. And so I actually decided a few months back, maybe a little bit longer ago, that I needed to get something new. And I started looking on the internet and I ended up on a website called Home Threads, and I'm a big fan of it now. And I totally think you guys should check it out. I'll put a link in my description, but I started shopping through Home Threads, and what I like about it and why I think it's different than Amazon, it gives you kind of an Amazon-like experience because it's bringing so many different home goods and home brands together onto one website. But what I like about it better than Amazon is I feel like Amazon has become like the meeting place of a bunch of like unknown knockoff brands, that have strange names and come from overseas. And I'm not looking for that. I want to have something that has a trusted reputation and where I know what I'm getting is coming from a certain brand, but also be able to compare different brands all in one place. So that's why I've been really happy with Home Threads. I've chosen a new rug and a new sofa for our living room, and I'm really excited about them. I needed something that would kind of complete the English cottage look. So I'm excited. I feel like in the coming weeks, this house is going to start actually feeling like a home, and I'll be able to make it a home and do some homemaking. And it's funny, when I was younger, I thought I wouldn't really like homemaking, but I feel like it's like such a magical thing to take a space and make it cozy and make it happy and make it lovely and make it somewhere everybody wants to be. And to me, it's funny that I think why did I think that was lowly? I think now it's kind of like magic. It's kind of like a sacred, holy power. So very excited, not to overstate it or anything, to start homemaking again. It's the next day, and what are you doing? Making I couldn't think of anything funny.
This is like a hopscotch.
Okay, there you go.
I'm working out here on the floor.
I was gonna say square dancing, but
well, so you got the back of the fireplace in quotes here, obviously, but these tiles you can't just put them in any direction. They got to go in the right way to get the right pattern and to have it all lay out properly. So I thought maybe it's best to mimic that here on the floor, kind of laid out as best I can so that I can just transfer it to here and make sure everything goes in the right way.
The tiles, obviously, what you don't want to have happen is that the pattern, we have to cut it off there because you don't want, if we moved it over, you could fit one more tile in, but then the pattern just breaks off and it's not centered and it's weird. And
So we're going to have to trim on either side.
Yeah.
But
So we'll have this in the middle and then moving out. Yeah. So these are the things that you only realize when you've messed stuff up. So you're more careful the next time.
I know, we got to do it all, we got it all laid out properly and then stick it on.
So we laid this out. Now Mike is doing the second layout. This man is thorough.
Well, because what I want
Henry David.
That was a good one.
And we're getting serenaded by Oasis Waterfall.
Is it Waterfall or Wonderwall?
Oh, you're right. It's Wonderwall.
It's Wonderwall.
You're my waterfall. So I think I've got this figured out, what these need to be, each side, which is 1 5/8. So I'm gonna go, and this is square, because it's just a box and it goes straight up and down, at least I'm pretty sure it does. So I'm just gonna go through, I gotta do 10 on each side of these edge pieces and just cut them out. And I'll probably actually go ahead and cut out what I need to go around this box. Anyways, I'm trying to do all my cuts ahead of time so that I can just put the adhesive on there and go without worrying about it setting up while I'm doing it.
One of Mike's best qualities, especially between the two of us, is that he's very thorough and he's precise and careful. And I'm starting to see it come together. Like, it's not even close, but it's the first time where I'm like, it's close enough that I'm able to see like, wow, this is gonna be a really great room. Because right now it just feels like a room. And another thing I've been doing, I love looking at our old videos when we lived in here when it wasn't renovated, especially like around Christmas time of 2020. That seems when we got it the most figured out. It was unfinished, it was tiny, there was 2 more people living in the house. Even in that state, I had my things and I'm like, oh, I have pretty dishes and I love that painting. I forgot I own that painting, because everything's in boxes and in storage. So I'm so excited. It feels like once this is done, even more, it's gonna be like, it's our house. We made it. And another thing everybody told me, some of you guys said that we would really, because we were doing all of the things ourselves, that like we would have like a lot of pride in this house and we would love it. And I thought I would like look at the bricks and be like, we put those bricks in, and feel like pride of ownership in that way. But it's not like that. It's more like someone you've been with for a long time and you just love them. Because I live in this town where I feel like we're in one of the smallest houses in the whole town. Really, I'm not kidding, besides like townhomes and stuff. So I go on my walks and I see beautiful homes, but then I come home and I see our little house, our little cottage, and I just feel such sweet feelings for it. And it must be because not only of the joy that we have inside and that our family lives here, but also that we're putting so much love and care into it. I don't know. I love this place. Excited to see this come together, and I'm grateful for Mike and how careful he is. So Mike is doing the slow starting work of cutting these tiles to go around this outlet.
Yeah.
This is when people will see that, they'll know it's not a real fireplace. But most of the
I think
time
that
it'll
might be kind of
behind
obvious
stuff.
anyways.
Okay, last row, huh, Mike?
Yep, we're almost there.
How has it been?
It's okay. Mostly painful.
On your knees.
Knees and my feet. I don't like kneeling.
It looks really good.
I'm not sure. I hope it does.
No, it does.
Okay, good.
I love it. I can't believe I found these tiles. It feels amazing.
Pretty awesome.
Yeah. Okay, how many tiles do you have left?
7. So we're getting close.
So we just had enough to do. I figured we should just kind of do the middle ones. That we had enough to do that, but not to go all the way across. So the white ones are there, but you won't even usually see that.
No.
But they're so pretty. It looks much prettier than it did when we laid it out. It looks even better on the wall.
So?
Yeah, definitely. Makes more sense.
Okay, stick this thing. Here we go.
Ta-da! You did it!
Okay.
It looks so good, Mike. It looks so good. I love it. I love it. Come back up and look at your handiwork.
Yeah, not too bad. That's pretty good.
It's so cute.
Yeah, that's cute.
And you don't even think about the white side.
No, you don't. Yeah, it's great.
You did a great job. Thanks.
You're welcome.
Okay, so it's the next day and it's time to do the sides. Though we just counted out, we actually don't have enough tile. So there was another box of these white tiles at the thrift store or the Habitat for Humanity where we got them. So we are hoping that the other box is still there. If not, we're gonna have to get creative. And also this morning, just looking at the fireplace, it's kind of stressful to make these decisions on your own because I'm just making it up as I go along, and Mike does what I say. He does, you know.
Exactly. I've learned.
And I'm like, I hope that was the right decision. That's how I feel a lot with designing the house, and we're gonna chew some gum right now because we are rebels.
That's right.
Okay, let's go check out and see if they have them there. I just
good.
died in your arms tonight.
This is it. Movie fragile, right?
I don't know.
That's
Yep.
it. Sweet. Okay, so I worked on laying all this out. Getting to this point took a lot longer. I don't have much to show for it though. But I was gonna try to level, because we're on level front to back. It slopes a little bit down, but I think that it would actually look worse because you'd have a bigger gap at the bottom. And it's such a short run that I don't think it's gonna be that noticeable. So we're just gonna go with the floor on it and hope it turns out. So
I think it will.
So anyways, we're gonna get started and hopefully get this done and that done.
Calcifer. Are you getting pet? Brushed? He loves getting brushed every day. Mike is finishing up this side, but you'll notice that the sofa is gone. I listed it for like 65 bucks and sold it for 50 bucks a couple hours later. I didn't expect to, but we are getting our new sofa from Home Threads in a couple days, and I thought it would take a little bit to sell the yellow one, but it's looking good, babe.
We're almost there on this side.
you guys remember the thing I made for the bathroom that was green? Well, today I refinished the top, this dark color. First I bleached it to take out the red, and then I stained it. Because remember, it was like that color. You guys see that? Very red, like mahogany. And so I bleached it, stained it, and then I painted over the green because I don't need it. It was the only place it could go is here, and I've decided to keep the antique bench there. And so I knew I needed to get rid of it, and I knew probably nobody wanted it to be green but me. And I also needed to do some repairs. Some of the down here there was some chipping veneer, so I had to redo that anyways. So I went ahead and did it a new color. So I'm just about to do the last coat and put the poles back on, and then I think tomorrow I'll list this baby. We're starting to try to clean out our warehouse because now that we're being a little bit more objective, you know, you got to face reality. Like, okay, we're pulling furniture in. This doesn't have anywhere to go. So, and then, you know, Mike's busy and I need something to do while he's doing that. Okay, it's the next day and it's done and I love it. I can't tell you, like, I've been really nervous about this because I was choosing tiles. I don't know, I haven't physically seen fireplaces like that. I've seen some on Pinterest that have pattern tiles, but like, it's scary, you know? And there's always this wrestle in me where I want to do bright things like the hallway, but then I'm like, but then it won't go with everything. It won't be neutral. And what if you change your mind? And so I was very nervous about this. But yesterday when I was watching Mike put in the grout, I was like, oh, it's even prettier. Even though it's a pattern tile with lots of color, I feel like it's not too much. So let's look at it closer. It's so pretty. I love it. We put this in here because this is the width of the space heater we're thinking of getting. That looks like a little wood burning stove. So pretty. And I feel like the tile softens a lot now that it has the grout in there, and it's just such a pretty pattern. And I just think it makes it so sweet, like a little English cottage, which is what I was going for. And so the next thing will be, I mean, I don't know if it'll be the next video, but the next thing to do here is do the shelves, and then we can trim the whole thing out and paint it. And, you know, we need to trim out down here and little tweaks there. Like I got to fix this here with the piece I accidentally pulled off. And then it'll just be our English cottage, you know, front room. I also finished this and got it listed on Marketplace. So I guess I'll just leave it there. Hopefully it sells quickly. I put it pretty low price, but I think it looks really nice. I mean, I loved it with the green, but I think now it's so timeless. It's such a classic piece that could just fit in so many spaces. So I'm really happy with that. So thanks, babe.
You're welcome.
You are learning so many things and I'm just watching. He's doing such a good job. And I know that was Mike last night fell asleep on the couch, which he doesn't do very often, but that was exhausting.
Yeah, it was surprisingly exhausting. I think because you're down in a low space, you're leaning in, and it's just kind of a weird position to be in.
Using all those teeny tiny muscles.
Yeah, and then we also grouted that over there. I think
let me show you.
Did we show that already?
I don't know. The kitchen obviously is not done, but I can see where it's headed, and I'm really, really excited for it. And like, I think that looks so pretty. I was wondering, I kind of liked the contrast when it wasn't grouted, but now the tile gets to shine instead of the grid pattern. And it looks so pretty. It looks like very organic, even though it's not like it's a porcelain.
Yeah.
So, but it looks like more like
it has an interesting texture to it.
Yeah, handmade tile.
Also, that was difficult because I couldn't pull these all the way out because the gas lines are connected and stuff, and I didn't want to like take those out, so I didn't record it, but I was sort of pinned. I literally had to crawl underneath this behind and like kind of
scoot in.
All that just made it
well, just imagine when there's not a bunch of dirty towels and aprons hanging and there's cabinetry that goes along and the windows are trimmed out and there's open shelves over there with beautiful plates. It's going to be beautiful, guys. I'm so excited. I was laying in bed last night thinking about how pretty with the butcher block, and it's gonna be so pretty. So thanks for coming along. Thanks for just being here for this and all of the craziness before. and for your tips and all of it in your friendship. Pretty excited because today, and this will be in our next video, our Home Threads order is coming. So we're gonna get our new sofa and our new rug and really keep going with the English cottage vibes in the living room. It's a Chesterfield, so I feel like that will also be timeless and be, so I'm excited to see it in there. So come back next time if you are too. See you then. Bye.
Bye.